it's Just So Trish, and I'm going to talk to you how I'm doing all my record keeping with A.C.E. And I'm only, through the summer, not a full curriculum in. I have taken a lot of watching and reviewing the way Andrea Mills does hers, and I kind of used it to make it fit for me. Okay, so I'm going to tell you of everything I've ever used. This is like, it just naturally lends itself to easily do your record keeping. I don't know how, I don't know why this is so different, just the little things in place. I guess I'm not overwhelmed or spent already. So I will tell you, I'm going to have a full update DIY planner. I have changed this extensively. In the description, I will have a link to my original planner plan, but that was before I was using A.C.E. So since then, I've updated it. And let me show you what I've done. Because it is important. I have a couple extra stickers I got taped in here like a dashboard, just so I know I always have some. The very first thing I did is I put the scope and sequence in here from A.C.E. And if you're in a state that requires you to have your outline, this is good to have as a full part plan. But the other thing I did was the detailed, I put the detailed scope and sequence. This is where a mama, this is on the Facebook group of A.C.E. Homeschool Moms. You have to get in to that group. A mama has gone through and wrote out all the goals for each pace. And kids, so if you have to give a detailed set of information for what you do quarterly, an outline of where you're going, kind of deal or lesson plans, you can literally, there's 12 paces in a year. Every quarter you could take 3 books and you could just copy and paste that section as your outline, personal scope, however it is that you need to do. But that information's there for you, thanks to a really awesome mama. So that works out good. I don't need to do that, but I like to see what's coming on. So in the back of my planner, I put the unofficial detailed list. Now, if you don't have that, you don't have Facebook, you don't want access to it, you could just simply go through the 3 books that you were going to cover for that quarter and just write out the goals. This is what you're doing for the next 3 weeks. And it can literally be as simple as that. Because technically, 3 weeks. It won't always take 3 weeks. Sometimes it'll take a week and a half. But it all depends. I know, I don't want it to be a long video, but it's going to be a long video. So, with that said, I revamped. I still have a section for each kid, like I had before. Let me turn this. And I will tell you, this is what I love about a comb binder. I can take it apart and put it back together. No biggie. So I still have a section for each kid. So this is my first grade section. It is much different than the others. I put a page protector in here, and this is where I actually keep their test, is in here. This is her kind of sticker chart. So I printed a second one, and I'm just crossing out what we've gotten done. I photocopied the report card that they have for first grade, only because I'm using this as my draft, and then later on I will go in and I'll write it into her report card. And then you're going to see in the very back of all of mine, I have this. This doesn't actually mean anything yet for her, but I have it in there. But I'm going to skip over to Katie's is a great example of what I've got going on. So again, here are the tests she's working on. I actually made this for next year. I haven't filled it out because I don't know what level she's going to be at. So this is kind of like my scope and sequence for the year. These are definitely going to be it, but I haven't, it depends on what we end at in a couple weeks is where we'll start at. And I didn't want, you know, I like to fill everything out ahead of time, but I didn't. Okay. This awesome page right here, the master record sheet, somebody built on the Facebook group. Another awesome mom. So I just put that in. This is only for our summer semester, but I can keep all my grades in here. And you could do the same thing with a 3-ring binder that I have here. I just feel like 3-ring binders get bulky. I already began laying out her next year, but again, I haven't put in the ones in here yet because I don't know which ones we're going to start off. Okay, so what this thing is. We are behind in math, math, English, and word building. So I took this, somebody built this for an ordering sheet. It is so colorful, but I'm not using my colored printer right now. So what I did was I tested her with the diagnostic test, and I highlighted in yellow what she tested out of. But we are so behind. She should really be starting here at 1061. And you can see there's a lot. So she should be starting at 1061. She has a lot of paces that she has gaps in. I'm letting her do 3 paces, and then I let her retake the diagnostic test. And I'm only doing that until we are at level. We're not doing this to get ahead of level at all. And this is in my personal opinion of what I'm doing. And I can go more into that. So she does 3 paces. I let her take the diagnostic test, and she can diagnostic test out ahead. And it's worked out so good. So that is really the extent of my planning and my planner. So now how about all the stuff? So I have the planners, the big planner I bought, but I'm finding this is so much easier. It doesn't feel overwhelming to them to just use a card. I can make my own cards, but I bought the student kits, and I can do a video on what's in the student parent kits because they're pretty cool. And they came with them, and it was for the price. I'm like, you know what? I got them. I'm going to use them. And I really like using them. So I've been using this. If you need to keep a going whatever, a list of what you've done perpetually, you know, dates and all that, here you go. I mean, nobody says it has to be this size. A cool thing you can do is if you have a comb binder, you can just comb bind them at the top when you're done and you've collected them for the year. So I might very easily do that for one. I know it's just gonna be a long video. I feel bad. So that's kind of that side of my planning aspect and record keeping in my book. Let me show you how it physically looks. So starting off with, I have a filing cabinet that I'm keeping all of my paces in. Yes, I totally color coded it. I'm that mom because I like color. So anyways, this is one child, this is one child because I have 4 kids. Look, another one and another one. This is my 1st grade, my 3rd grade, my 5th grade, and my 6th grader. So all I've managed to do is, here is the math. Yeah, he has a lot of math to get through. So does my other one. But we might not actually even use all of these because of the way we're doing the diagnostic test. So I have all of the ACEs. So the paces. So when we move on to 1042, I rip out the test in the middle. I put the test into my planner so it's in safekeepings. I write the date. I put it in their like little binder. I have a clipboard thing that they stick it in. The other thing I do is they are checking. I'm doing a video.
Where would you spit Addie?
I better take care of that. Okay, so we pull them out, and then I have my kids check their own work. So I've been putting the answer keys in kind of these jackets. So we'll go, and then it lets them pull out the answer keys. I am attempting to do the binder with all of the test keys in it like Andrea Mills has. So check that out because that's actually cool. I'll put a link in the description to her video. And so they can just pull out them. And yes, they are, again, color-coded. So now that we are done getting them, when they work through their booklet, when they get down to the last page, they hand me their book, and I hold on to their book, and I pull out the test from my planner, and I hand them the test. When they get done, I check the test, I write the grade here, I put the grade in my planner, and then I give them everything, and I have like this like little bucket sitting on my desk. This is my inbox. It actually sits on top of my mail inbox, so it's kind of, I gotta make sure there's no private stuff. So it's, you know, kind of like, there's my school inbox, there's my mail inbox, and then I know to sort them. So I take them, and let me go back in here. I have color-coded the kids, so each kid has one of these. This is how I am organizing my stuff. So their gold cards go in here, and just the test. So here's the test that they've got done so far. And this is all I'm doing for record keeping on that aspect. So if I'm required to do a portfolio, there it is. I mean, I can do this and pair it with the scope and sequence, and I feel complete, in my opinion. Of course, we take the California Achievement Test, so I throw that in there too. But I do save all the books, and that's just me. That's just what I do. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm preparing just in case there's ever a catastrophe and I don't have another copy books, or if I want to go back and review a copy without buying one. I got it. And what I'm doing is I have this catch-all basket, and I am throwing everything in here. So I don't have it organized by any means. I even have been throwing when they do their list, I've just thrown it in here. My plan is at the end of the summer semester, because I kind of think more of semesters. I got a summer, I've got a fall, and I got a spring. At the end of the summer semester, I will go and separate them by kid. I will put a big rubber band over them, and like, you know, a big rubber band over it, and I will just throw it in a box that is theirs in deep storage. So, and I'll just have the date. And the cool part is I have a copy of all their work, so if I were ever in question, I can just gather it all up and say, here you go. So if you were doing it, you could separate it by quarter. So here's, you know, essentially a quarter would be 3 books of each. But I wouldn't get caught up on that, because if your child takes a quarter to do 2 books, seriously, that's okay. You know, if it's 2 books and 2 books and 2 books, some of it's 3, whatever they get done, I would just bundle it up and be like, quarter 1's work, quarter 2's work. You know, if you did 6 subjects, that's 12 to 18 books. So it might literally, because, you know, I have to show you. You think I'm from Missouri. I got to show you. I'm from the Show Me. But I mean, I would literally just do this and write a Post-it note on, you know, quarter 1 or summer, whatever, however you want to split it up, or that you're required to do it. So it really lends itself to be easy. I mean, I'm going to keep a copy of their finished papers when they start writing in their little, I'm going to keep in here their writing examples, like their proof, their finished writing in here. I'm going to probably put their draft copies stapled together in here, kind of deal, just as examples of it going through. But I kind of feel like, oh my goodness, this is so much easier. It's not like binders I'm trying to keep. And here I know what we've done. So that's about it. At the end of the year, I have this. I might do something pretty and put it in a little container or like a little show portfolio. I might just leave it in here and I'll have their name, their dates, and the grade here. And who we are registered with. I've done it before, like if we're registered through the county, if we're registered through a private school. I write here, and then I know it and I can grab it. It's all there. It's not flying around. That has worked wonders for us in the past. So that's kind of it. I feel like it's oversimplified, but yet it isn't really oversimplified, if you know what I mean. I just feel like the paces really lend themselves to be very easy to handle. There's not a lot of loose papers kind of deal. So I hope that answers your questions. That I'm really only keeping portfolio of the test and my writing examples and my goal cards. And then in deep storage, I'm just throwing the paces there. Now, if you're living in a state that they don't care and you don't care, Andrea chucks hers. She pulls out her favorite pages in them and chucks the rest and doesn't feel the need to keep any of them. And I could do the same thing. I'm just not that mom. I'm a hoarder. Why would I? I don't know. It took me a long time. I mean, I still have a couple years worth and I'm like, there is no use. There's no value in this. Why do I still have it? But I feel like at least it's nice and neat in a booklet kind of deal. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions about whatever, let me see what I can find. Ask me. Ask and maybe the community will answer it for you. So go check out the questions and comments down there. And just help each other out. You can do the same for the other curriculums I talked about for no planning, no prepping. I'll put a link right here for that. That you can click on, and where I kind of cover ACE, Life Pack, and Christian Light Education, which I've used all three. And they can all kind of lend themselves. I just feel like ACE has done a fantastic job. A.C.E. has done a fantastic job of really laying themselves out for a school with minimal oversight. I think I'm using the right words there. It's not minimal oversight, but without requiring a large number of planning and overworking its admins and coaches. And so they kind of have it laid out, and then it lends itself to come home very easily. So these are a huge help, if that makes sense. So anyways, if you got any questions, let me know. If you do it differently, if you have a different idea and you use this, tell me. If you have it differently and you do something kind of similar, whatever, let me know how it goes for you. I'm really interested in knowing, and I feel like it definitely helps the community. So we will talk to you later. Peace out.